Caitlin Clark ready to lose veteran Indiana Fever teammate. Since its first-round exit in the WNBA playoffs in September, the Indiana Fever has spent the offseason planning the best way to improve the team around All-Star guard Caitlin Clark. Clark and fellow All-Star
Actually, before we get into it, just know that the WNBA as it stands in the 2024 season has 12 teams. They've added 3 teams this year, announced them. We have the Golden State Valkyries, Toronto, and Portland. But the reason why the Valkyries are the only ones having the draft on December 6th is because they're the only ones entering the 2025 season. The other ones are...
With the Golden State Valkyries set to become the 13th team in the WNBA in 2025, the new franchise will construct its roster through the WNBA expansion draft. The mechanisms of the draft are complicated, but they leave each existing team with a key decision. All 12 teams had to submit a list of 6 protected players to the league by Monday.
They have to pick one from each team. Okay, we're still following. So now, Golden State can pick one player that doesn't have a contract going into 2025 and core them. In case you were wondering what a core player was, it's when teams have exclusive negotiating rights for a player. You can only be cored twice in your playing career. Which means any player who's reached the max core, 2 years, they cannot be selected by Golden State. Think a player like Neko Ogumake. Seattle doesn't have to protect her because she can't be cored. Once expansion draft is over and they've selected their 12 players, if they want to do all 12, they function like a regular team. And that means free agency! We all know the chaos that happens with WNBA free agency. So free agency is typically around February time, but fast forward to April, Golden State Valkyries will still be able to take advantage of the collegiate draft so they can play chess and we can have a new team. I know it's a lot. I know it's confusing. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help. Just think of me as your little expansion draft fairy.
However, her experience and ability to stretch the floor around Clark would be sorely missed. We will all find out what the Valkyries decide to do on December 6th during the WNBA expansion draft. If the Fever does, in fact, leave Dentis at risk, it would be a huge show of faith in Clark and the young core to be able to move forward without the presence of the veteran.
WNBA expansion has happened. Now there's a draft for the Valkyries. I know the rules of it, so you don't have to read through everything. Let's get into it. Actually, before we get into it, just know that the WNBA as it stands in the 2024 season has 12 teams. They've added 3 teams this year, announced them. We have the Golden State Valkyries, Toronto, and Portland. But the reason why the Valkyries are the only ones having the draft on December 6th is because they're the only ones entering the 2025 season. The other ones are for the future. So let's just focus in on the Valkyries. So I know what you're thinking. New team in town, they can just go snatch everybody up. Wrong. The 12 teams that exist right now get to protect 6 of their players. That's regardless of contract.